President Obama, in my opinion, is one of the best presidents the United States has ever had. There are things going on in the world that are not made public. That's a given. You cannot be naive. You cannot be foolish in this world. If you act naive, they will get you. They will get you every time. Who are they? Who do you imagine? We all have some kind of fantasy in our head that there is opposition out there against us. You pick, you choose who the opposition is. The first movie I ever saw about out-of-body experiences was on a small black and white television. I showed this once before by Michael Powell. But this motion picture impressed me so much that I want to share it with you again. It comes under two titles. One was the British or English release of the motion picture, and the other was the American release for the motion picture. A Matter of Life and Death was the British release. The American release was called Stairway to Heaven. Believe it or not, a picture made so long ago (1946) was a story about out-of-body experiences. I truly recommend this film, Stairway to Heaven. It's in color. I saw it in black and white because I was watching it on a black and white television. But I carried this memory of this motion picture all these years because it impressed me so much. Out-of-body experience from a 1946 motion picture. What does that have to do with President Obama? And things going on in the world that are not made public? This is a book called The Gene Age, Genetic Engineering and the Next Industrial Revolution by Edward J. Sylvester and Linda C. Klutz. Lindsay. This is a book about genetic engineering, the gene age, genetic engineering, and the next industrial revolution by Edward J. Sylvester and Lynn C. Klutz. This book just gives you a hint of what's really going on in the world. Scoff, mock, jeer, if you will. This is a book called The Underground Alien Biolabs at Dulce and the Benowitz Papers. Is the town of Duluth, or is the town of Dulce, New Mexico, the location of underground bases guarded by U.S. forces and inhabited by a group of sinister extraterrestrials? I don't know. I've never been to Dulce. How could I possibly know? All I know is that the rumor has been persistent. And I'm not talking about persistent for a couple of years. I'm talking about the rumor has been persistent for a couple of decades now, almost 20 some years, with hundreds of witnesses. Allegedly, the base at Dulce, New Mexico, is not only growing in test tubes little gray aliens, but allegedly the test tubes are also cloning simulations of humans. I say simulation of human because apparently, in spite of the genetic engineering, there are technical problems such as advanced aging, and every once in a while the clone has a mental breakdown and acts irrational. That's the rumor? I don't know. Nobody tells me anything. The other book is called The Love Bite: The Alien Interference in Human Love Relationships by Eve Lorgan. I, again, do not know if this is true, that extraterrestrials, clones, interfere in love relationships. How could I know? Nobody tells me anything of any importance. But my suspicion is, because of the unusual surveillance in our society today, that maybe some rogue agent or rogue group within the government does interfere in relationships to what they think is their advantage. Just my belief, just my hunch, just my suspicion, just my belief, just my hunch, just my suspicion. If you observe and watch and close down some of that brain chatter talking to yourself, you might see some unusual things going on. I've carried this colored cloth with me for a long time. When I went into the United States Army in 1963, I went to Germany on a ship called the Geiger. It was a minesweeper out of the Brooklyn Navy Yard, New York. What does this have to do with this color? Very unusual color. If I remember correctly, In the old comic books from the 1940s, Superman had this color hair. Very strange color for some human hair. But then Superman wasn't human, right? Two young men, allegedly, because I asked where they came from Upper Michigan, the part of Michigan that's separated by one of the Great Lakes, had hair this color. This was in 1963. Because we were all newbies going into the military, we didn't ask very many questions. But in 1963, to have hair this color was extremely unusual. I don't know what happened to the young men. We got separated. But I'm pretty sure they didn't dye their hair purple. This was their natural color. I have never seen anyone before or after 1963 with exactly this color hair. Let that be a hint to you that the human race is extremely diverse. And naturally, I used the word race with quotations around it. There are many hints, if you'll watch and observe, that the world is not the way it appears to be. And there are forces working, such as lobbyists, corporations, wealthy people, even family members for that matter, who put pressure on the president. There's a joke that one of the most secure prisons in the United States is the White House. Do you understand that joke? Think about it. Thank you for watching this video, and have a good day.